Uh, what's up? You ready?
Yeah, we ready.
Good. I'm mic'd up. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's up, y'all? Trent Small, the chef, aka Red Specs. I know who it is. 7 p.m. every Wednesday, live here. Unscripted Conversations. Get in that chat, in that conversation, and let's talk about this episode tonight. So I don't know if you guys have been watching the Julio Foolio court case this past week, where four young men and one lady were found guilty of his murder. But I was watching it, and watching that whole situation unfold really got me thinking deeper. Pause. Deeper than just headlines, social media clips, and courtroom footage. Got me thinking a little more deeper than that. Because behind all of this is a bigger conversations that we don't want to talk about, or we don't talk about enough, I should say. How young lives spiral into violence in the first place. How decisions made in 1 minute, can destroy families forever. And how generations is being influenced by clout, music, street politics, anger, and the pressure to prove something at all times, whether on social media or in the hood itself. Now, I don't want this to just be about another conversation about who was right, who was wrong. I don't want to do that tonight. Okay? I want to talk about accountability, consequences, right? The culture, and the pain left behind for mothers, fathers, children, and even the community. And whether some of these tragedies could have been prevented before it ever reached the courtroom. Listen, this is one of those conversations that might make people uncomfortable once again, but that's what we do here on Unscripted Conversations. And sometimes the uncomfortable conversations are the ones we need to have the most. So tonight isn't easy. It's not going to be easy. Not at all. Because somewhere right now as I speak, another young kid thinks pulling the trigger makes him have respect. Another teenager thinks prison is too far away to even matter. It's crazy because another mother is out there, and another mother is about to get a phone call that's going to change her life forever. And now we are watching another major case unfold surrounding Julio Foolio. And people online, it's crazy. People online are treating death like it's an entertainment. Like it's entertainment. What's happened to these young kids, these young people? What's happening? Why are kids so comfortable with killing? And why does social media makes murder more normal? And it's crazy because I can talk about this or I can talk about politics. And I have a lot of friends that's on social media talking the real truth about life, politics, and what matters to people. Just like food for thought, unscripted conversations. And we won't get the popularity or we won't get seen on social media because we're talking too real. But yet, if you have these kids murdering each other, beating up each other, oh, that footage go viral right away. Social media don't stop that. And especially if it's our black youth, black and brown youth, it won't stop that. Like I said, social media makes murder looks normal. And when these young kids, or I should have said, when these young men and women get life in prison or they get the death penalty, is that justice? Or did society fail them before they even picked up that gun? It's going to be tonight. Tonight, we are talking about consequences, real consequences, not rap lyrics, not Instagram comments, real life here tonight on Unscripted Conversations. And somebody got to say it. And you know it's me. Thank y'all for coming in. Come on in. I see y'all coming in. This is a real serious situation, conversation. Drop your comments in the comment sections, or like I said, later on, you could put it in the comments later if you don't feel like you want to do it at this moment. And I'm going to keep moving on. Man, this Julio Foolio situation got me thinking, right? Got me thinking. Because every time one of these young people die, even, you know, the rap artists, famous or whatever, some is not famous. When these young people die, everyone acts shocked for about 2 weeks, right? Then it becomes content, right? That's the scary part. You know, you got people online laughing. What the hell are they laughing for? I have no idea. Making memes, posting, smoking on jokes, kids dancing to diss songs about real dead people. You know, they dance into diss songs about people who passed away. And I'm sitting here like, yo, what the? When did death become entertainment? It's crazy. Boy, back in my days, man, even if people had beef, right? Back in my days, there was still fear attached to consequences, right? Now, these young dudes crash out with cameras rolling, right? It's crazy. These young folks, they incriminate themselves in songs, on live streams, right? On Instagram stories. And then act surprised when detectives replay the footage in court.
That you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Fucking idiots. And let me say this clearly. I'm not glorifying nobody dying. Not Foolio, not the people accused, nobody. Because once those bullets start flying, everyone loses. Everyone loses. The family loses. Kids loses fathers. Mothers bury sons. Friends end up in prison for life. And neighborhoods get another layer of trauma. Drop your comments in the comment section. But what really bothers me is this, is how these young kids are. Some of these kids aren't even 25 years old. Some is 20, 18. Their whole life was gone before they even figured out who they were. Gone. Split second, that 1 minute. And like I said before, social media made it worse. Because now respect isn't earned through wisdom like we grew up. It's earned through fear. And that's the dangerous part of this whole thing. These young boys and girls think catching a body makes them a more man or more woman. No. Becoming responsible makes you a man or woman. Taking care of your family makes you a man or woman. Controlling your anger makes you a man or woman. Shit, anybody could pull out and pull a trigger. That's easy. Living with the consequences. Negro, that's the hard part. And let's talk about prison for a second. I've never been in prison, so I can't tell you the in-depths of prison because I've never been there. No plans on going there unless somebody's messing with me or my family and I have to do what I have to do. But other than that, I have no plans to go there. Never thought about it. Never. Some of these young people think prison is just hanging with the homies all day in the courtyard and all this bullshit, the shit you see on TV. And they don't understand what life means. Life means missing birthdays. Life means missing funerals. Your mother getting old while your ass sitting in a cell rotting. Your kids growing up calling some other man daddy because they don't even know who you are or mommy. Life means waking up every morning staring at concrete walls, realizing one decision destroyed everything. 1 second gave them life. And then, Lord have mercy, and then comes the death penalty conversation. They're going to start giving those death penalties out to young youths. I know they was talking about in Florida sweat equity, making these young young youths work like they used to do in the slavery days. Work on that field, hard labor, sweat. Have the master on the horses watching you, taking you back. The death penalty. That conversation. Now, this is where people split, right? Now, some people say, right, if you take a life, your life should be taken too. While others say, no matter what somebody did, the state shouldn't kill people. And honestly, this conversation is complicated. It's really complicated because when somebody murders your loved one, emotions change, don't it? Emotions change if somebody kills your loved one. Everybody got opinions until it's their family. Facts. That's why I always say pain changes perspectives all the time. All the time, pain is going to change people's perspective, right? And another question is this: did society help create these monsters? Because let's be honest, some of these kids grew up around violence every single day. I know. I was one of the kids. Broken homes, poverty. Some have no guidance, no father around. Schools failing them, social media poisoning them, and rap culture sometimes glorifying retaliations. Now, before people out there start getting mad at me, listen carefully. Music, and I'm going to say it again. So I've been in the music business. I did rap music. I was a rap artist myself. Rap music doesn't force people to kill. And like I said, I've been rapping for many years. But when your young minds constantly hear death being celebrated, right? Eventually, some start believing violence equals power. And that's real, right? And another thing people don't talk about, a lot of these young men and women, are emotionally broken, really broken. They're hurting, they're traumatized, they're depressed, they're just angry, right? But instead of therapy, they get handed guns. Instead of healing, they get told to spin the block. And that cycle keeps repeating itself over and over and over, right? And now prosecutors are getting smarter too. Okay. These court cases, man, they're getting different now. They're getting hip to the bullshit. The lyrics are being used in court. social media posts, you guys pulling out your guns and flashing it, that's getting used in court. The cell phone data, you calling people, oh, yo, let's do this to this person, that person. Surveillance cameras everywhere. People got cameras everywhere. Where are you going? You're not getting away with nothing. This ain't the 60s, 70s, even part of 80s where surveillance wasn't a big thing. People can get away with stuff for many years, for centuries, even though that always catches up too. New technologies catching all those people from what they did in the 70s and 60s. So they're not getting away either. So don't think you guys are getting away, because there's so much high tech now. They're using drones and everything else. Can't get away. Ain't no hiding like before. And like I said, some of these kids are recording their own evidence, recording it on the phone. How dumb can you be? And what's crazy, and like I said, the internet is encouraging this bullshit. They're encouraging this. Why? Because it's the Black and brown community and they don't really give up. Okay. Let them kill themselves. Well, who cares? People online cheer violence until somebody gets sentenced. Have you noticed that? They cheer the violence. Oh, ooh, look at that. Oh, look what he did, until somebody gets sentenced. Then suddenly everybody's screaming, free him or free her, free him, free her. But where was all that energy before the shooting happened? Where was it? That's why I say accountability matters all the time. Now, does that mean throwing every young man or woman in prison forever? Does that mean that? That's another debate. Because some people, I could say, truly change. They change. Some people mature. Some people realize too late what they did, unfortunately. But tell that to the victim's family. They don't want to hear that. Tell that to the victim's family. That's why this topic is hard. Pause. This topic is something else. Because there's pain on every side. The victim and the people who did the crime. Another thing that we have to talk about. Young people today are desensitized to death. Totally, I think. They don't think it can happen to them. It won't happen to me. I'm Superman. I'm whatever. Too much violence online. Too much shock content. Right? Too many rest in peace shirts. Right? Before people even be emotionally processing that loss. I don't know about you, but back in the days, hearing somebody got killed shook the whole neighborhood. What? Big Will? Oh, what's going on? Right? Now, people scroll past murder stories while eating lunch. They don't care. But that's dangerous for society altogether. Because once human life is lost, or lost its value, that chaos follows, right? Once human life loses that value, chaos follows, right? And I really want young viewers listening tonight to understand something. Just understand something. One emotional moment, one, can ruin your whole future. That 1 second will cause your life or death in prison. That 1 second will cause you life in jail or death in prison. One bad night. We all have bad nights, you know. We all have those moments where we want to strangle somebody, but you got to come back and you have to think, all right. Somebody say something to you wrong. They ain't touch you. They just said whatever they said. All right, cool. Because that's how I am. You could say whatever you want about me, my mama, my children, whatever. As long as y'all not touching me or touching them. One argument, one trigger pull. Now you're in court hearings like hearing words in court like life sentence, without parole, death penalty. And trust me, I was told no street reputation is worth losing your freedom forever. None. Many of my friends that was in prison for 20, 30 years come out and they tell you no street reputation is worth losing freedom forever. None. Because prison isn't Instagram, right? And like I said, prison isn't rap videos. Prison isn't the comment section in your videos. It's isolation, regret, survival. And some of these young people don't understand that. They don't understand that until the courtroom gets quiet, man. And the judge start reading numbers, football numbers, that end their freedom forever. Boy, I bet that silence is different, boy. I would never want to hear that. I bet that silence is different. And another thing, parents got to start paying more attention to their kids. Not just buying cell phones and sneakers, and pay attention to your child's anger, right? Pay attention who they're hanging out with, what they're posting online, even the music they listening to. What kind of music are they emotionally attached to? Because some kids are screaming for help through aggression. They're screaming for help through aggression. And society got to stop pretending everything is cool because somebody is smiling online. That doesn't mean it's cool. A lot of these young people are mentally drowning. Mentally drowning. Mm. I already know the comments are going to be divided tonight because I see them already. Some people are going to say, lock them all up forever. Get them out of here, right? Who cares? While others are going to say, the system failed them. The system failed my child. They shouldn't get this harsh punishment. And the truth is, both conversations can exist at the same time. You can hold somebody accountable, right? And recognize the environment that helped shape them. But once again, accountability still matters. Because at some point, every human being makes choices. Like my brother AK Alpha Moon said in his Unscripted Conversation. And some choices carry permanent consequences, as he also said. This conversation here is something else. This episode is something else. Drop it in the comments, people. You know what? Let's get into the questions and answers. All right. So questions for the viewers out there. I have some questions for you guys tonight. Let's start with this question. Do you believe young offenders deserve second chances for murder cases? Do you believe young offenders deserve second chances for murder cases? Put it down in the comments. Some are going to say no, some are going to say yes, some undecided. It's just the way human beings are. Next, should rap lyrics be allowed as evidence in the courtroom? Should rap lyrics be allowed as evidence in a courtroom? My opinion, I say no because, like I said, I'm a former hip hop artist, rapper, and rap was meant to brag and boast, okay? To say things about this person and that person, but when we all got together, it was all love. They know it didn't mean anything. They know it wasn't true. You know, we didn't pull out weapons and everything and try to kill each other because of something we said on the record. Okay. So allowing rap lyrics in the courtroom as evidence for me, I think is wrong because you could say what you could say whatever you want into a rap song, but that doesn't mean that it's true. You know, it doesn't mean that it's true. So that part I don't believe. So drop it in the comments what you think. Should rap lyrics be allowed as evidence in the courtroom? Next question. Is social media making violence worse among young people? Is social media making violence worse among young people? You know what I'm going to say. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because that's all you see all day long when you scrolling or you looking for something. Violence, violence, violence. People beating up each other, kids beating each other, people going around. I forgot what you call it when they all meet somewhere to riot. And social media eating it up. They love it. Pause. They love it. Boy, oh boy. Next, do you support the death penalty? Why or why not? Do you support the death penalty? Why or why not? And it's crazy because different states have different attitudes about certain violent incidents. Like I said, Florida, death penalty. New York, I don't think they have, but different people think different depending on the region they are into, right? Some people were born to say, oh yeah, death penalty, sure, yeah. And it may be because of the region they in, and they used to that death penalty, right? Others, like I said, in New York, we'll see something different. Death penalty, no, that doesn't fit the. Then you get into a whole bunch of things. Put it in the comment. At what age should someone be charged as an adult? At what age should someone be charged as an adult for murder? If someone's 15 and murdered somebody, should they be charged as an adult because of the actions they did, not because of their age? 18, 20? What you think? Also, is society failing young men and women today? Is society failing young men and women today? Put it in the comment. Next question. Does prison rehabilitate people or create worse criminals? Oh man, that's an episode in itself altogether by itself. And maybe I'll make an episode with that. Does prison rehabilitate people who create worse crime or create worse criminals? I'm sorry. Is it creating worse criminals or rehabilitating them? I don't see how jail is rehabilitating anybody at all. But that's another subject. Put it in the comment. Also, are parents, music, social media, or the streets responsible for what these young men and women are doing? Who's responsible? Are the parents? Is it our music? Is it social media? Is it the peer pressure and everything in the streets, the gangs and different things like that? Or is it all above? Drop it in the comments. Can someone truly change after taking a life? Wow. All these questions I'm giving you tonight can bring up big episodes for Unscripted Conversations. Each question can get more broad than just the question itself. Can someone truly change after taking a life? I don't know. I can't answer that. Haven't been there. Hope never to be there. So I can't answer that. And my last question. Is justice today fair or selective? Is justice fair or selective? Put it down in the comments. Once again, I want to thank you guys for coming here. Unscripted Conversations with your boy Red Specs. You know how we do. This one was a big one. Pause. This one was huge. So drop it in the comments. Remember, I talk about the things that people think about but don't want to say out loud. So I'm here to say it out loud for them. So for my final thoughts. Before you guys leave tonight, just remember this. Just remember this. A cemetery full of young people exists because somebody acted off emotions, right? For a few seconds. Okay? And the prisons full of men and women exist because they thought consequences would never reach them, but it did. To my young people watching this, your life is worth more. Your life is worth more than proving something to people who won't even visit you in prison. Think. Think before you react. 1 second can cause you life. Walk away sometimes. It's not worth it. Pride can get you buried. Or put in prison for life. And to the parents, please talk to your kids. I know we have these kids nowadays that don't want to listen. Keep hammering it in their head. Keep talking. Really talk to them. Really talk to them. Because the streets are raising too many of our children right now. Too many of our children right now. Talk to them. I know it's hard every day. Oh, I talk to this boy, I talk to this girl every day, and they just still do what they want to do. Don't stop talking. Because when you stop talking, that's when you let them go. And when they go, they do that 1 second thing that ends everything. This was Unscripted Conversations with your boy Red Specs. And tonight, somebody had to say it. See you next week. Thank you.